I am Jovelyn Bahenting and our topic is all about Japanese literature. The brief history of Japan. Introduction to Japanese literature. The body of written works produced by Japanese authors in Japanese or in its earliest beginnings at a time when Japan had no written language, the Chinese classical language. This statement refers to the literary tradition of Japan, which encompasses written works produced by Japanese authors. Initially, Japan did not have its own writing system, so literature was often written in classical Chinese, which was the literary and administrative language of East Asia of the time. The body of written works include various genres such as poetry like haiku and tanka, novels, essay, plays, and more. Japanese literature is rich and diverse, reflecting the country's unique culture, history, and societal norms. Nara period. Its beginnings oral traditions that were first recorded in writing form in the early 8th century, after a writing system was introduced from China. Japanese literature began with oral traditions that were first documented in a written form in the early 8th century following the introduction of a writing system from China. During this time, known as the Nara period, Japan first received influences from China, including the writing system. Chinese missionaries introduced Chinese characters, which became the basis for writing official documents and narratives of government affairs. It was during this period that the first history, poetry, or other literary works of Japan were written. The key texts from this period include the Kojiki Record of Ancient Matters and Nihon Chronicle of Japan. Heian period. In the resplendent aristocratic culture that thrived early in the 11th century, a time when the use of the hiragana alphabet derived from Chinese characters had become widespread, court ladies played the central role in developing literature. During the Heian period in Japan, which encompasses the 11th century, there was indeed a flourishing aristocratic culture characterized by refined artistic pursuits. This period saw the emerge of the hiragana alphabet, which evolved from Chinese characters and became widely used for writing in Japanese. Court ladies, particularly those in the imperial court in Kyoto, played a pivotal role in the development of literature during this time. They were highly educated, literate, and skilled in various artistic endeavors, including poetry, prose, calligraphy, and music. Their contributions to literatures, such as the creation of diaries and poetic anthologies, were significant and enduring, shaping the literary landscape of the Heian period and influencing subsequent generations of writers in Japan. Kamakura Muromachi period. In the latter half of the 12th century, warriors of the Taira clan, Heike, seized political power at the imperial court, virtually forming a new aristocracy. During this period, in Japan, which followed the Heian period, there was a significant shift in political power and social structure. In the latter half of the 12th century, specifically during the Genpei War, the Taira clans, also known as the Heike, emerged victorious and seized political power at the imperial court. This marked the rise of the warrior class to prominence as the Taira clan and their rivals, the Minamoto clan, vied for culture over the imperial throne with their victory. The Taira clan established a new aristocracy wherein warriors held significant influence and authority within the government and society. This period saw the beginning of feudalism in Japan, which regional warlords known as daimyo asserting culture over territories and establishing their own power bases. The Kamakura period is characterized by the dominance of the warriors class, the establishment of the Kamakaro shogunate, and the emergence of samurai culture as a defining aspects of Japanese society. Edo period. Around this time, the function of literature as a means of social intercourse burdened. During the Edo period in Japan, the function of literature indeed expanded beyond its traditional rules. This era saw the emergence of vibrant urban culture and the rise of merchant class with increasing wealth and influence. As a result, literature began to serve not only as a form of entertainment but also as a means of social interaction and communication. Among different social classes, these literary works often depicted contemporary social issues, satire, and humor, providing a platform for individuals to engage in discussions and reflections on societal norms and values. The broadening function of literature during the Edo period contributed to the cultural richness and diversity of Japanese society at the time.